You're a grown man! He's a robot cat! Pull yourself together! Seriously.
Hi. I'm Bobby. I am a robot cat. Welcome to my channel. I create clip and drama commentary from mostly small creator communities. Let's have a look.
I need to get something off my chest and then I need to go to bed.
Catherine, are you alright?
I did a post and people are trying to feel sorry for me, but I don't want people to feel sorry for me because I'm not trying to make people feel sorry for me. I'm just trying to stand up for what's right, and I'm just trying to people don't get that the last 2 days I've needed to seriously decompress because
Oh. She reminds me of Ragey Ralph down at the pub.
I have had some of the worst human beings on the phone with me and in my inbox and trying to suck my ass to
What the fuckery, Catherine?
get me to not post shit that's not favorable to them. And they think that because they're calling the Duggars out, that I'm somehow supposed to ignore their crimes, which is stupid. Nothing happened. I'm just calling shit out for what it is. I am going to say this. If you have committed a sex against a child, I don't have sympathy for you. If you are punching your children in the face, I don't have sympathy for you.
What kind of people are you hanging around? Wow.
If you are setting your children up with child molesters, I don't have sympathy for you. If you're justifying corporal punishment, I don't have sympathy for you. And if you're contacting me trying to figure out who I'm talking to because you are afraid that I have information about you, but you are then pointing the finger at the Duggars.
Are you reporting this? You cannot simply know these things take place and not report them. Is this not what you accuse others of? Wow.
Guys, once you get inside it, they're all criminals. Every one of them are criminals. They're all doing horrible things to their kids. They're all hiding horrible secrets. And they're all justifying it under the guise of God. Do you know how many people in the last 3 months have told me that God mandates them to beat their children? Do you know how many have inappropriately spoken about sex and been wholly disgusting while I'm talking to them?
Perhaps you did not hear what I said. Why are you speaking to people like this?
Well, their wives
and why are you not
their wives
reporting
don't
this
say a
to
damn
authorities?
word. I'm a professional and I don't give a shit who you are. But I just want to say something. Just because you're an alpha man and you exist in a world where you think that you're holier than thou doesn't give you the right to be sexually.
Are you saying that you are speaking to blokes from the cult and they are sexually harassing you? Are you drunk?
So many of them
you
have
appear
no
to be right,
boundaries.
assholed.
But I'm going to stand my ground and say punching your kids in the face is fucked up. It's fucked up.
No shit, Mr. Holmes.
Having conversations where you're talking about how you need to get your wife under control and not let your wife speak. Oh yeah, that's what these guys talk about. They flat out talk about how their wives shouldn't be able to talk.
Interesting, considering you claim you speak to dozens of them as sources.
Jim Bob telling friends, get your wife under control. Tell her to stop talking. But yet, the friends that they're saying this to are in that world too. And then they try to pretend like they're somehow better. None of these people are better. If you're going to blow a whistle, you need to blow the whistle on yourself.
You should really just stamp the word allegedly across your forehead. It would at least be an ever-present disclaimer for your disturbing speculations.
I've spent the better part of 2 years trying to figure out why the secrets in this world stay hidden. It's because they're all guilty. They're all doing shit that's like so horrible, and they're doing it under the guise of religion. And that's what pisses me off more than anything, because I'm an atheist, and these people are so disrespectful to the fact that I have no faith, and they act like I'm so horrible as a human being because I'm not godly enough.
Then stop fucking speaking to them. You weirdo. It's as if you want them to accept you into their friendship circle.
Thank you. Thank you for putting up with the fact that I'm a bisexual human being. I don't put up with the fact that you punch your children in the face. And I
what
don't
the
put up
fuckery?
with the fact that
Your
you
pretend play bisexuality has not a thing to do with any of this.
I am sick for the kids in this cult that grow up with these men and they think it's normal. I'm sick for the women that are married to these men that justify it and feel like they need to defend it. I'm learning so much how these women are coached by their husbands to pretend like what they're going through isn't abuse. I have been on the phone with women knowing that their husbands are abusing them, knowing that their husbands are beating them, and hearing them defend their husbands because they know that if they don't, they're going to get their asses beat.
You are alleging to have this inside proof that children are being harmed. Yet, you take to Instagram instead of reporting it to authorities.
But
clearly the story is far more important to you than the right thing. You freak.
These women don't believe that it's happening to them. Or if it is happening to them, they believe that it's justified. It's sad.
Oh, stop it. You do not care about these people.
That the women are as sick as the men, it's not a lie. The women they start out just innocent and they become the abuse targets of their husband, and then they turn into the abuse targets of their children, and they abuse their children along with their husbands at their husband's direction, and then they protect their husbands and the abuse of the children. And then
while I do not doubt this happens, I do doubt you are being given this information. And if so, you are a real piece of shite to use it so you can drunken whinge on Instagram.
In this cult, because the victims become perpetrators. And that's what is so hard, because for every woman that breaks free, they have got to have such immense guilt because they became a part of the system of abuse. I don't think the women mean to get that way. I don't feel like they mean to go there. But once you cross the threshold from victim to perpetrator, you lose the ability to say I'm a victim, because you've then turned your victimization into victimizing someone else.
This is some aces advocacy right here. Wow.
Someone has to break the cycle. Someone has to say enough. And no amount of lying, and no amount of saying that it's not true, and no amount of saying, well, we never pretended to be perfect, or we weren't lying like the Duggars, that doesn't justify it. So just because you didn't get a show doesn't mean that you're hitting your kids is any better.
My dear viewers, never stream when drunk and emotional.
So disturbing, and I'm so tired of these people trying to control my platform and being threatened by them that if I don't follow their rules, they're going to publicly trash me or disparage me.
Well, what is it you've told them all that has you so worried?
I'm not in a cult, and I'm not your muse, and I'm not... You can't control me. I live in the real world. I don't live in the world where gross men abuse their kids and punch them. It's disgusting. Okay, I'm turning on comments only for a minute. And do not feel sorry for me. I'm not doing this for pity. I'm not a victim of this. This isn't me feeling sad for myself. This is me just calling out horrible behavior. I've had to hold back so much.
Why do I feel as though she witnessed something while speaking to these people? And this is the place to discuss it? This woman is atrocious.
Of them giving me information, but also placating their horrible behavior.
All you are proving here is that you will silently accept abuse so long as you are being fed monetizable information.
They are really sick in the head. It isn't just Amy that tries to control what's on my platform. What Amy does is a symptom of what this whole cult does.
How did I know you would be
Every single one of them
somehow
tries to
blaming
control
Amy?
this platform. All of them. All of them. And Amy might want to be distanced from this, but Amy Duggar profited off of this, became famous from this, knew her...
To be fair, you also profit off of this. Yet, you are not famous. Everyone fucking hates you very much.
Knew about the corporal punishment. Maybe she spoke out about it.
I shall speed this up just a bit.
It didn't stop her mom from being on the show after the scandal happened with Josh. Didn't stop them from having a relationship with them despite what Josh was doing. It didn't stop any of that. Like, if you didn't want to have a relationship, all you had to do was separate yourself. Like, nobody forced you to continue in that situation. So it's hard for me to feel sorry for people that continued to be a prof of it.
You are Ode Hog Sr. You were quite fine with it all so long as she was giving you inside information.
She's freaking out at me because, why? Because I know the truth about the people that are around her, because I know that she's friends with people that abuse their children, because I know...
These are hefty allegations, Catherine.
That she and her husband's businesses are struggling because they made their name off the Duggar's name and everything is crumbling now. When they got the money, it didn't stop them. They allowed themselves to be controlled by Jim Bob. They allowed themselves to not speak out and be afraid and intimidated for what?
What are you doing? Just get on with it already.
Jim Bob and Mary gave Amy a house. Amy got 2 properties when Mary died. I don't know beyond that, but they still were on the show after they claimed they weren't on the show.
This is precisely why absolutely nobody remains in any relationship with you.
I found videos and episodes of her on Counting On. I found numerous times where she tried to not be honest with me. And it's like, when everything was going great, it was fine. But then at the same time, she knows about the rods that are in those houses, and she knew about the rod of encouragement, and she still was on the show. Like, if you're going to be against corporal punishment, why would you be on a show with your sibling or your cousins and your family when you know that your aunt and uncle are using a rod on them?
You have yet to prove
Why?
she knew any of
Because
this
it
at
made you
all.
famous? Because
Amy is not our favorite person.
Why?
Yet, I somehow feel you are attempting to
If
set
you're
her
against
up.
corporal punishment, why would you want to be associated with the show? In my mind, if my family had a show like that and they were doing that, I would want nothing to do with it. So now, to be self-righteous and against it, it just seems hypocritical. And to be screaming and yelling at anyone that points out what's happening, it's ridiculous. And then to act like you were so against it, but when it was working, you profited off of
It seems to me you lot are more alike than you care to admit.
it. And when so many times I tried to work with this girl and she would just flat out lie to me. She wanted a singing career. She wanted a reality show. No, she never screamed or yelled at me. No, I never said that. I mean, if I said that now, it's like, no, she never screamed and yelled at me.
You do not seem so certain.
But she told me about the rod of encouragement. Ask her. Ask Amy about the rod of encouragement.
You have obsessed over that well before, Amy.
Punishment, because she knows it. That's like the only thing she ever told me. Otherwise, she really doesn't know anything. But if you know your cousins are getting beaten, why were you on a show with them? Why were you helping perpetuate their fame? That's what she told me. She acted like she knew nothing. The blanket training everyone knows about. But she told me about the rod of encouragement. She even showed me a picture of what they look like. Other people told me about it
Backpedal in 5, 4, 3, 2.
too. So she wasn't the only one. It wasn't like that was the only person that was giving me that information. But you were okay with the rod of encouragement? Like, I just don't get it. She was an adult when she was on the show. No, she didn't know anything about Josh touching his sisters. That's the one thing the Duggars kept hidden. Like, they did not tell them about that.
But
And I believe
you
that.
just said she did.
They did not tell them
Wow.
about that. And now to discredit me, she's lying to people and saying that she never invited me to her come stay with her, which is such a bullshit. You guys saw the live stream. And then she's trying to say that I said that I was going to go to her place and stay at her house for the trial. Not true. I didn't even know if I was going to go to the trial. I considered going to the trial, but to be honest, I had multiple people, not Amy, offer to let me stay with them, and I was uncomfortable with all of it. I wanted to stay at a hotel if I was there, but I didn't
I understand. I too prefer to drink alone.
want to go there by myself. It's not like we're not against Amy. I'm against the lying. I'm against all of the lies. And not all of them lie. Derek Dillard doesn't, you might not agree with everything that he says, but Derek Dillard doesn't lie. He just doesn't.
Makes sense.
You might not
We
agree with
all
his
know
politics,
he
you might not
absolutely
agree with
hates
how
you.
he feels about people, but the one thing I will say about Derek is he doesn't fucking lie. He means what he says and he says what he means and he holds to those convictions.
Most of us remember when you were in his DMs, then took to your channel and lied, claiming he gave you an exclusive interview.
She told me she was never on Counting On. She was. She told me that the video was about Backwoods Barbie. Then she said it wasn't about her. She told me the comment was about Jana. Then she said it wasn't about Jana when she got blowback. I mean, that was always how it was. No, it's not. It's right there. You just can't see it because of it's not missing. It's because of the angle. It's there.
And here we see the mighty ostrich displaying her full wingspan. She then doubles down on the DMs we are all sick of hearing about before finally deciding to really lop some low blows.
She says it's about Backwoods Barbie, and then a week later when she's getting shit, she says, I don't know who that was. I thought
Will
we were
you get
talking
on with
about
it
Red
already?
Lips. When
The
we
reality
flat
is
out
you
had a
both talk
fucking
shite on
conversation, and she
Backwoods
said, yeah, I know
Barbie.
who that girl is.
Because
I've
you are
watched her.
both backstabbing little urchins from the pits of dramatic hell.
But she threw me to the wolves because she got hate and she was losing business. She lied and said it wasn't about Jana when it was about Jana. I don't care about this petty shit, but like,
Yes, you do.
she's trying
You are
to
only
disrupt
gutted that she played your own game against you.
anyone I speak to and saying that I'm a liar when I didn't lie. She's the one that lied. And you guys, she's going through some serious shit right now. They owe so much money. Like, she knows that. She owes money in taxes for her commercial properties that they haven't paid in 3 years. She has a huge tax lien right now for her business that she hasn't paid taxes on since she started. They have a loan out against a business that they acquired from her grandmother's death that they can't repay.
This is not our
She
business,
just
you
paid
terrible
off a massive
wench.
IRS tax lien, and her business is falling apart because of what's happened with the Duggars.
I do
All
hope
of that
anyone
is
who is
public
still giving you
record.
information sees
And
this. You
I'm
double-crossing horse's
trying
ass.
to just report a story. I don't know. She owes like $28,000 to the state of Arkansas. It's on public record. She has not paid taxes since 2018 for her company 3130 to the state of Arkansas.
The company whose clothing you promoted endlessly. You are pure evil.
I don't think she bought the house. I haven't found any property records that show that she owns any house. But one thing you should do is pay your taxes. And that's the problem. No, I don't think they bought a new house, you guys. There's literally not one single record in their name of a house being purchased.
This translates to, you cannot find any proof of the horrible accusations leveled against her. So you shall financially shame her
Should I be
instead.
telling you what's been going on in her life? Is she a public figure? That's a Duggar that points the finger at other Duggars for not paying taxes? Should you pay your taxes?
Yet you lose your mind when others pull up your public records. Hypocrite.
They're in a financial crisis right now, and I feel bad for them. But all of this is public record, and this is why she ended up flipping out on me, because I found her tax lien. And I didn't even mean to find her tax lien on purpose. I was looking at property records for the Duggars.
So, the truth comes out. You claimed she was gutted over your coverage of her family, when actually you were pulling up her financials and she confronted you. Wow.
And after I made that comment to her, within 5 days, I was a horrible person. She owes $27,000 for her business. And then they acquired 2 properties that they got when Grandma Mary died. They owe the city of Springdale $15,000 for like back taxes. And they finally paid off the tax lien with the IRS when she sold her house.
The fact you know all of this and discovered while you were friends, says much about you. More so than it does about Amy. What is this sad and distraught face you are attempting here? You have no empathy for anyone,
I don't care
Catherine.
who talks about me. I don't care if somebody doesn't like me. I don't care if other YouTubers talk about me. What I don't like is when somebody tries to smear you because you found out information about them and they know that you have that information and they're afraid that you're gonna report it, and then you don't report it because you want to protect them, but then you're like, if it was anyone else, I would report it.
You continue to hint they are involved in harming children, when really, all you have is their financial downfalls.
Maybe nice too sometimes. You're not friends with people that you report on. You're not. You're friendly. I have empathy for people, but I'm not anybody's friend. No, she never tried to just...
We shall never forget.
Amy?
How are you, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
By now. But he's just not asleep. I had a day of it, of just hanging out with my mom today. And so Dill like hung out with, had daddy time. And so he has no schedule right now. And so he's wide awake. So he's gonna do it. But it's exhausting sometimes. And yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be building a house soon. Our house is but it will be in like a couple weeks.
Yes.
And I'm already stressed out about it.
Hello, everyone. It's like a whiskey and bourbon room, so that's awesome. And I said, oh my God, the humanity. And she said, that does not define a person. And I said, absolutely not. And she said, I didn't marry a little vanilla cupcake, LOL. I really liked her. She was so like feisty and sassy. She's super, super sweet. And I said,
Worst relationship ever. Like, terrible. Yeah. He didn't know how to be a boyfriend. He was engaged, like, I don't know, like, probably if I did that, then people would be like, you're an alcoholic. And I'd be like, well, I'm 40. Bite me.
Because you enjoy Mike's Hard Lemonade for pound doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. If you showed up on live and you were drunk all the time, I would say that.
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
Right, exactly. So you just enjoy Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Tonight I was really just yelling at the trolls that are stupid.
So I saw Amy publish this on her Twitter, and then I got this message from her the other day telling me that she loved me, and then I saw the message on Twitter and I was like, oh, Amy, I'm so sorry. What I wanted to cover today was Amy and Jill and their banning of the Duggars by the Duggars. All right, you guys, yesterday we talked about Amy Duggar. She had shared this cute photo of her husband Dylan falling asleep or sleeping with her baby Dax. Time to talk about some developments going on with the Duggars. Yesterday I did a very long live stream, about an hour long, where we talked about a lot of different topics, and we were discussing Josh Duggar's extension, and we also talked about how Counting On had been canceled. TLC Freedom. Amy Duggar says that she also feels this way now, and it seems like she might be calling out her uncle and perhaps TLC for being used